She get attached, I cut her off. Big batty, but a scotch. Intuition isn't touch.
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So as you can see from today's title, it's pretty straightforward. I'm just going to be giving you guys my tips and tricks and basically giving you guys the insight to my driving experience. I'm going to be talking about my driving test, theory, practical, just everything. Yeah, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to be talking about is the theory test. As you all know, the theory test, you basically can't book your practical unless your theory is done. And the theory test is just long, like, it's just long. So with me, yeah, some will say I'm very not smart. It's not smart, not smart. I did my theory 5 times. I passed my 5th go. Everyone's probably thinking, but yeah, it was a cash loss for me too. So I was up when I failed 5 times. And I was always 1 or 2 marks away from the hazard perception. What's funny is most people find that the easiest, but for me, clearly looking and clicking I was very incompetent at doing, hence why I did it 5 times, but I passed my 5th go. And I think the problem is, as soon as I'd fail, and because I was always 2 marks off, 2 or 1 mark off,
I was thinking, this is a minor, I've got this, do it again. Minor, I've got this, do it again.
Before you knew it, I'd spent £23 times 100. Like, I said pardon. So yeah, that wasn't good for me. Like, some people do it like 101 times because at the end of the day, you cannot book your practical test until your theory is done. So regardless of you failing 101 times, you're gonna have to fail, and then pass. Some people are better off like with the physical aspect, so that's why they pass the practical first time, fail their theory 101 times like me, and vice versa. So it just depends on you, but yeah, my theory was a joke. My bank account after my theory was also non-existent, but we know. I revised the theory test through the DVSA app. It's on Apple Store. I think it's like $4.99. I'll try and insert like a clip somewhere of how to like get it up. It's $4.99. You can either use the app, which is more practical because you can be practicing on the bus, you can be practicing literally on road, blah, 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 blah. But you can get the book as well. I think the book you can get through like websites such as Amazon, blah, blah, blah. So basically, get the DVSA app on the App Store. It's $4.99, and that's all you need to basically pass your test. Rush to do your theory, but if you know that you're not trying to take your practical test anytime soon or even start lessons anytime soon, sis, don't bother, because you're just wasting money. Like, there's no point of doing your theory and then waiting 2 years and then be like, oh, my theory expires soon, like, I think I need to pattern up. Sis, it's too late to pattern up. 2 years is done, like, do you get it? So remember, if you're not ready to do your practical or ready to start lessons, don't rush your theory. There's no point, you're gonna waste money. That's my theory test, October 2017. How long did it take me? I think it took me, well, basically, I started actually taking it seriously like mid-July, so it took me a long time, but that's only purely because I was a mess, and I'd rush it and then I'd take a break for like 3 weeks. I'd be like, no, I need to get back on it. I was a disaster. So theory shouldn't take you long. Like, I know people that have literally given themselves a week, booked it and then start revising and then pass because of the pressure of, I need to get this done, I've booked it now, do you know what I mean? So just do whatever suits you and you'll be good to go. Things first, I did not pass my driving test first time, nope. I passed 2nd time, and good riddance, because I genuinely think that if I passed my driving test the first time, the day that I did it, and I went straight on roads, I probably would have crashed. Realistically speaking, I was not ready. I don't know how many people would actually admit, like, I don't think I was ready the first time I did my test. I genuinely wasn't ready because, boy, first time I got 4 minors and 1 major. If you don't really know how the process works, you basically, if you get any majors, you fail. You can get up to, I think, 13 minors, and obviously the more you get, it's a bit techie, but you still will pass, like, it's not that deep. So yeah, I got 4 minors and 1 major, and the major was literally, as soon as my test was done, I just started being ridiculously stupid, and I just didn't understand how I felt. Your instructor or the test guy or lady, whoever you have, has to intervene. So basically, you have to either stop the car, or you slow down someone, or you cause someone to stop, you fail automatically, and that's a major. Cool. So tell me why I was driving out. Everything was all fun and games, everything was good. I was like, yeah, drive out. Oh, I'm gonna pass this. And then I can't actually remember what I did, but I know it was just dumb. And then my instructor like pressed the brakes, and I said, okay, okay, so this is what we're doing, like, this is what we're doing today. I said, no. My heart, I was like, no. And the thing is, my test was done. I was going back to the test center. I was so vexed. Depending on how early on you fell, it really determines the rest of the journey. Like, it's so awkward. I remember, like, obviously I got to the test center. Obviously he intervened in it, and I said, yeah, this is techie. Like 2 minutes later, I get to the test center, we're sitting in the car now. Obviously I know I failed. He's gonna give me like the green slip, saying you've done this, you've done this, you've done that. Basically my instructor was in the car with me, he was sitting on the back. So I looked up at like the mirror, I saw his face, he looked down, I looked down, I said, yeah. And then he was like,
I mean, what was that? All you had to do was just turn right, what was that?
and I was like, I don't know, like, I thought it was fine. And he was like,
Really? That's ridiculous. How do you think that's fine?
I was like, I don't know, like, I mean, I tried.
It's like, you're not gonna have to fail you today, Jacqueline, I'm afraid. I'm afraid this is not good enough. You've got 4 minus for that major. It was dangerous.
I said, yeah, that's absolutely fine. Like, I tried my very best. And he was like,
Maybe more practice, maybe more.
like, my heart, when I went back home and I said, Jackie. Like, when I failed my driving test, I was so sad, but like I said, everything happens for a reason. I don't think I was even ready to pass then. I think my first test was, I think a week before my 18th, because I thought I was nice and I wanted to pass for my 18th. That was not the case. Second time during my test, I passed my second time with 3 minus, which is brilliant. Someone said people that pass second time are actually the best drivers, but I don't know. So it went smoothly, like, I was in such a good mood. You know the ones where you know you're gonna do well? Like, I was in such a like productive, like positive mind. I was like, yeah, you know, I'm gonna do well today. I got to test center, I had a nice lady, chit chat with her whilst I was driving. Before the test started, obviously you do your, I think either one show me or tell me question, and then you do your eyesight test. Everything went calm. I said, yes, it's gonna be a good day. And my instructor did not come with me this time, which is probably such a good tip. Like, do not go in the car with your instructor, because having 2 eyes, like 2 pairs of eyes watching you, puts you off entirely. That's what I learned for the first time. So I passed on the 12th of April 2018. So yeah, your girl's had a pinky for over a year now, and it's probably the best achievement in 2018, like one of my best achievements. And still to this day, I'm gassed. Like, no one believes that I drive, and it's very frustrating, but yeah, I do. The test you book on I think the gov.co.uk/science website is £62 for a driving test, and I think you pay £80 to your instructor to just borrow a car. It is a cash loss. I'm telling you all right now. When you book your test, it will tell you like the new rules and like the maneuvers you're gonna have to do. If you have to do bay parking, you have to do parallel parking, you have to use a sat nav. Obviously ask your instructor before the test day. Maybe that'll be useful. Like, your instructor's obviously gonna go through it, so I'm not gonna bother talking about it. Instructor from KISS Driving School, and he's honestly the best instructor ever. Like, he is the nicest guy. He is so funny. We had so much fun. And it's really important. I know you're not thinking, okay, cool, but it's just an instructor. But at the end of the day, if your instructor is dead and you can't even have bands with the guy and you're literally scared to get in a car with him, there is so many like driving schools you can pick from. At the end of the day, do your research on the best schools in your area. There's no point of just picking one because your friend passed with this guy, because your friend is different from you. You're not the same person, do you know what I mean? So we're not doing that. When you're picking out your instructor, pick a guy or a female that you're like, you feel comfortable with, you know, he's got a good success rate, and the school is like not just like a bougie school. So I started doing my lessons roughly the same time as I learned my theory, so like July, and obviously I passed my test in April. Some would say, oh, it took so long, but at the end of the day, I've seen people do lessons for like over a year straight and they're still struggling. So honestly, it depends on the person, and it depends on how consistent you are with lessons, the money, and obviously your driver as well, because my driving instructor flew out in December, meaning we obviously wasted a lot of time, but it was okay because I still didn't pass in March. So I only did like an hour lessons when I first started. Only nearer to my test day I started doing 2 hours, because I'm not gonna lie to you, yeah, doing over an hour and a half driving lessons like a week is long. It is so boring. It drags on and on and on, especially when it's like you're not in the mood for the lesson that day, or the test test, or the day is not going well, you've had a bad day and you have to be in a car with someone for an hour, you want to come and kill yourself. So 2 hours a week is too much, honestly. Like, I learned in manual and obviously passed in a manual. I know some people do automatic, but what I would say is if you learn in a manual, you can drive both automatic and manual. If you learn in automatic, you're literally strictly only like allowed to drive automatic. So I don't know why you do that to yourself, because the whole point of driving is so that you could be sort of like able to drive any car in any situation type of thing. So I personally feel like just learn a manual. It costs a bit more and it just means longer lessons, but it's just more practical. So I don't know why you'd want to learn automatic, but if you learn automatic and you pass in that, then again, good for you. Tip number 1, don't rush the process. And don't compare yourself to other people. Just because your friend passed in 5 months does not mean you should pass in 5 months. It might take a bit longer, but as long as you know that you're safe on the road, like I promise you, your test person, I keep saying test person, what are they even called? Doesn't even come into my head. Basically, whoever's in a car with you the day of your test is not going to let someone who is incompetent on the road pass. Driving is one of them things where it's never a practice makes perfect type of thing. So it's like the more you're driving your mum's car, the more you'll sit on the front seat when you go out, the more you'll get a hang of it, the more you're learning road signs. Just keep on practicing and you'll just get sick at it. I cannot stress this enough, guys. Do not drink and drive. You're not cool, you're just stupid. You're actually just dumb. And that's it, you're just dumb. You've gone out now and you've drunk. Cool, get Uber. Why are you driving under the influence of alcohol? If you pass your test, don't feel pressurized to have to get a car straight away. No one is putting a gun to your head saying, "Rah, Jackie, you just passed your test. I need you in an Audi A3 ASAP. If you don't get in that, then you're just useless." No one's telling me that. It's really alright. Like, it's really okay. Like, it's such an achievement that you've already passed, and that's good enough. If you can afford a car, fam, splash out, get yourself your GLA, do your thing, innit? But if you know that you can't afford it, don't let society pressure you into getting a specific car, and don't let society pressure you into getting a car straight away as well. Main tips is to watch YouTube videos. I'm telling you, YouTube have the best videos to help you with your theory, your show me, tell me questions, giving you advice on the best driving schools to choose from, all of that shebang. Like, honestly, it's so useful. So just watch YouTube videos if you're like struggling and things like that. All your instructor wants to see is that you are a confident person and you're safe to be on the roads. Not that you're a good driver, because there's no such thing as a perfect driver. So don't think to yourself, "Oh my gosh, I've got like 10 minors, I'm such a bad driver." Well, it kind of makes you think that's a bit techie, but it's all about being safe on the roads, and that's the most important thing. I would highly recommend that you pass your driving test before uni, or at least start your lessons before uni, because when you're at uni, it's so difficult to have to think about, "Oh my gosh, I've got driving lesson today." And it's difficult because most people commute in it. Most people are like in, I don't know, the Midlands, you live in like South London. Why are you doing lessons in the Midlands when you live in South London? It's not making sense. At the end of the day, cool, a driver's a driver, but it's just really impractical. Do it probably like year 12, year 13 during A-level, so that you know that before you get to uni, you're on the road. So guys, that's the end of the video. I hope you all enjoyed it, and I hope I was as informative as I possibly could be. Like I said, I'm not an expert, so I've just given you my tips, my tricks, basically how I passed my driving test. If you need any more advice from me, feel free to message me on all my socials, and hopefully I can be as helpful as I possibly can be. If you enjoyed this video, you know what to do already. Smash a huge thumbs up, comment below any more video ideas, turn on post notifications so you can see when your girl uploads, and continue subscribing. Hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back soon for a brand new one.
Yeah.
Bye guys!
She get attached, I cut her off. Big batty, but a scotch. Intuition isn't touch.